Ludonarrative disconnect is an important factor to look at in game design. The term comes from a combination of the word ludo, from the word ludology, or the study of games, and narrative, like a story. Ludonarrative disconnect occurs when the gameplay, or ludo, clashes with the narrative, story. An example of this would be playing as a superhero who has to save the city from an evil villain in his super laser, and you do so by using your laser vision and killing a bunch of civilians. The gameplay, using a laser to kill civilians, completely clashes with the narrative, a story about a righteous hero stopping a villain from lasering everyone. Lame example, I know. Now, let's look at Sleeping Dogs. You play as an undercover cop, Wei Shen, working to bring down the Hong Kong Triad. However, your character hates murder. In cutscenes between missions, the protagonist even begins to have nightmares and has trouble sleeping over the deaths he's seen, which is a pretty interesting narrative. And here's where the Ludonarrative disconnect kicks in. When I go into single player, my character is pretty much Stalin. I do mass body burning, smashing into oncoming cars, shooting up the police station, locking taxi drivers into the trunks of their cars and plowing them into the ocean because they deserve it, because every time I try to flag one down, they end up running me over and speeding away! So, yeah. I imagine committing acts that would be more like something out of a satanic fervor dream would weigh heavily on the protagonist's mind. It's these situations that drag you out of the narrative. I mean, if on the way to the next mission you decide to break your record for the most civilian roadkills, and don't worry, the game counts it for you, and then you enter a mission where Wei is horrified by the deaths of gang warfare has inflicted on his friends, it drags you out of the heavy moments. It's hard to drag the player back to a place of empathy and consequences right after it rewarded you for completely ignoring those moments. Sleeping Dogs does, however, try to fix this by having a cop and triad points system. You get triad points by simply being an awesome person. Getting environmental kills and combos gets you a better score for leveling up your abilities. You also get a cop score, which is set at a max score, which lowers by doing uncop things in-game. Killing cops, killing civilians, property damage, etc. It tries to reward you for being a good person, actively encouraging roleplay, which in turn helps the story. Now, in my opinion, this is actually a pretty good system, as after a mission you may still be in that cop mindset in the open world, and it would encourage you to be a better Samaritan. However, some would argue that it's not going far enough, and should punish you or even prohibit you from killing cops or civilians. Perhaps like Far Cry does it when the player instantly dies after 3 civilian kills. I would counter, however, that doing so would ruin what people play open world games for. People play them for complete and utter freedom, and to do whatever they want. Ruining player choice would, in some people's minds, ruin these games. I know it will ruin the fun for me, because personally some of my best experiences were having a police standoff in a busy city with a shotgun, and I later escaped the cops by driving off a cliff into the ocean and then stealing a boat and sailing away. Ludonarrative disconnect is a problem that many games face, but open world games even more so. However, the mechanics in Sleeping Dogs implemented is a great compromise between encouraging roleplay within the story and player freedom. This has been Diving Off the Deep End with Game Steal History. Hey, if you liked this, I'll be hopefully uploading every Friday on Turtle Express, where you can catch my friend Darren and his other friends Let's Play games. And if maybe you want to see a little more history in game mechanics, check out my channel at Game Steal History. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on whatever I upload next on this channel.